I am NetMoverSitan. Welcome to the Rodion Identities lore video. Yes, Rodion, the busty axe-wielding sinner with hedonistic tendencies. She's also one of the least serious, but she also cares about the backstreet's inhabitants, having personal experience about what they go through, understanding that they have it hard, regardless of which backstreet you're in. It doesn't stop her from indulging in tasty food whenever she can get it, to the point when she doesn't like it when the food wasn't substantial enough. She will be the subject of this identity lore video. Like Gregor, she has a legitimate identity, a criminal identity, and an identity that's broken in mind and spirit, even if the body is intact. But not in that order. Let's go over the backstory of Rodion. In her hometown in District 25, the backstreet was a place of great inequality, where the typical backstreet inhabitant was barely surviving at best. And that's not considering the syndicates tormenting them. Then she met Sonia and joined the Rodion, a syndicate that's unique among them, as they actually care about others. Their long-term goal is to overthrow the corrupt establishment, whether it be the Wings or the syndicates, to redistribute wealth to the people that need it, to create a workers' paradise. Now, why does that sound familiar? Oh yes, that's how the Bolsheviks started. They were successful in overthrowing the Tsar, and then after that, it started to go wrong. Anyway, the Rodion, they were communists in all but name, although they focused more on debating and poring over documents than direct action, even when its members had to go through the garbage of those who were better off, just to survive. Rodion was growing impatient and pleaded with Sonia to do more than talk. She was denied this a number of times, so one day she decided to take direct action herself, which involved going to a pawnbroker/tax collector and burying the hatchet in her face. Specifically, killing the and taking the money in her safe, which she distributed to the people who were starving to death. Unfortunately, this turned out to be an incredibly stupid decision, as the gender-bent version of Ebenezer Scrooge had a sibling within the middle, and with them, if you attack one of them, you attack all of them. And so they decided to deliver punishment for this, not caring if it was the person that struck at one of their own. They did a mass punishment killing, creating towers of corpses as a punishment and a warning to others. That warning being, don't with us, or this will happen to you. After that, she left her hometown and District 25. In fact, the Rodion all likely did so. Either because of the shame of being the cause of that massacre, having nothing for them there, or in case the middle wanted to deliver a reprisal to her specifically. Sometime after that, she found herself in District 10, based on the fact that the Rodion are not exactly new. Then she was recruited by Faust, which suited her own plans. First we shall cover Kurokumo clan Wakashu Rodion. Wakashu meaning adolescent, implying that she's a relative newcomer. She was readying her katana to threaten someone that she was trying to persuade to spill his info, rather than his guts, telling him that they both know how much money they were keeping in that safe, while showing a smirk of cynicism as sharp as her blade, and about as smug. The Kurokumo clan, which was based on the Yakuza, isn't that much different from most syndicates. They shake down households and businesses in the backstreets, squeezing as much as they can from them, calling them protection fees. Rodion was being harsh on that establishment, more so than with others. Possibly because this man was an infamous miser and that his money could feed her starving goons. She gave the impression that she could behead this man at any time, but something was holding her back. This was likely due to her not wanting to cause trouble without authorization, as that's forbidden within her syndicates. Thankfully for him, a guide came to her with a message. It was Ryoshu. They had GN, or good news, as Rodion translated. They can stop these shoddy missions while they're taking care of this matter. Yes, this was reinforced by the smirk of the nicotine-addicted guide, who told her that they're about to dance swords with the blade lineage. It would appear that in this reality, after she left her hometown in District 25, and then moved to District 10, and left the Urodivie, instead of being recruited by Faust into Limbus Company, she met someone in the Kurokumo clan and was recruited by them. The Kurokumo clan being a subsidiary of the thumb, the most rational of the fingers, as they have a strict adherence to protocol, where breaches of it can result in mutilation, the specific penalty depending on the severity of the breach. She likely accepted it because of the material reward and power over outsiders that she'd have, as long as she knows who to obey and to follow their orders. Hard to know if she sold out, where she became like those that she massacred, those within her hometown in District 25, or even yes, that pawnbroker whose murder resulted in said massacre. It's also revealed that in this, Ryoshu was also part of the Kurokumo clan, and it was also revealed that the Blade lineage are not a subsidiary of the thumb. They wouldn't be attacking each other otherwise. And yes, there is a reason why I believe that the Kurokumo clan was not fighting another thumb subsidiary. Yes, the Kurokumo clan wouldn't be fighting the Blade lineage if they were affiliated with the same finger. In fact, they're more likely affiliated with the pinky. Well, they're not artistically inclined like the ring. They're not focused on collective guilt when it comes to punishment like the middle. They're not prescript following zealots like the Index. So that left many with personal... well... let's just say it eliminated all but the Pinky. It's also clear that shaking down misers was personal to her, as she was witness to their greed too many times in District 25. So she likely gained more satisfaction getting protection fees from them. Now for LCCB Assistant Manager, number 14. This mirror identities story involves her having eyes with drowsiness and fatigue, her junior being stricter than her, telling her that sensor signals are all clear, advising that they secure the aisle. Rodion seeing this as a hassle, the junior reminding her that it's their job. This was obvious to Rodion as she's doing it, asking why they have to help the bus crew. Another colleague reminds her that it's what LCC is tasked with. She retorted with, "I know." She remembered that the LCC's work was to assist the 12 sinners aboard Mephistopheles and ensure that they successfully retrieve the golden bars. She was well aware of this fact. The work wasn't straining to her. She also didn't complain about risking her life for those that she's never met. She just didn't like the lack of excitement. That was the only thing that she didn't like about her job. She wanted to be a part of the bus crew, and also wanted to meet Virgilius. That colleague reminded her that she couldn't just jump over like that as the sinners. Rodion then interrupted that colleague by saying that she has to resonate with Clockhead. She was just saying. Then she spoke into her radio that they were commencing advanced reconnaissance on containment in Sector E-361. Then they charged into what they were sent to deal with, breaching the defenses. In this reality, she's in Effie's role within LCCB, where she scouts out locations for the damned dozen of that reality. Makes you question where Effie is. Possibly a member of the damned dozen under a codename. Hard to tell, as we don't know who is on Mephistopheles in that reality. Although Rodion is still the less serious part of the team, requiring others to make up for her. Although that doesn't mean that she's useless in battle. Her shock baton is not just for show, as she uses it to make sure that at least the area is safe for the damned dozen to go deeper into it. She understands the situation, even though she doesn't like it. She was likely recruited by Limbus Company sometime after she parted ways with the Uradivir in District 10. Just not by Faust, as they were unlikely to have met in that reality, at least at that point. Although if events are similar to what they were in the main universe... oh... she'll need the Otis of that reality to deliver a mercy killing. Finally, for now at least, we have the N-Corp Mittelhammer identity. That's German for medium hammer, where her mirror identity story starts with the faithful Rodion, intently observing the sermon of the one who grips, seeing her as splendid, simply splendiferous, seeing it as fortunate that the world had had such a wonderful person, then corrected herself by saying, How unfortunate that world was to be plagued with so many defects pretending to be human. Where meeting the one who grips opened her eyes, she was living a blasé life, ignoring the foul stenches prevalent in the streets. Referring to the prosthetic users, the voice of the one who grips upturned her foolish thoughts, and cultivated the right mindset, where ever since her first calling as a hammer, the voice of the one who grips soothed her with each swing, questioning why she was ever scared to destroy the impure. Why didn't she notice that those impure beings were tainting the soil they trampled on? Then she realized her beautiful hometown in District 25 wasn't safe from the defiled heretics who roamed freely without a hint of shame. On the first week of becoming a Mittelhammer, she pleaded to the one who grips that she wished to right the degenerate future of her dear home. The one who grips, Faust, blessed her with a merciful smile and said, "You may do so." Then she literally brought the hammer down, as the Hammerfall song would put it, on the prosthetic users in her hometown within District 25. She saw herself as the chosen one. She made many towers of backstreet dwellers that night, prosthetic users, and those that were either sympathetic to them or tried to defend them. She corrected herself when she said that they were heretics, pierced and hung far from the earth. It brought her such joy. She wanted to kiss the cleansed soil of her dear hometown. Clearly, in this reality, she was recruited by Encore, specifically by the Hammer and Nail, where she was indoctrinated into their ideology, turning her into a completely different person, a believer in their cause, where once she cared about those who were struggling to survive, now she inflicts violence on the prosthetic users and those seen as accessories to their crimes, cloaking it in a righteous aura. If there were any prosthetic users within the middle, she'd probably kill them as well, but not for vengeful reasons. And this time, the middle wouldn't dare touch her, as they're unlikely to attack what is essentially part of the Wing's forces, unless they're sure they can get away with it. If they did, she'd be unlikely to care, nor would she care about any collateral damage, as the insanity forced upon her by this insane part of Encore has removed any restraint and care for those that aren't a part of that wing. As for the one who grips, as in Chroma's role, it's revealed that Faust was in that role in that reality. So is Chroma one of the damned dozen in that reality, who's more serious, not to mention sane? Perhaps she escaped her N-Corp indoctrinators, or through one chain of events or another, she was never swallowed up by the Hammer and Nail's insanity. It's not just the lives of prosthetic users and those that defended them that was destroyed. It was also those within the Hammer and Nail that were indoctrinated, as even though they're physically intact, the mental conditioning destroyed them from within, throwing their moral compasses in the polar regions. And this is saying something considering how amoral this grimdark setting can be at times. Those that blindly believe in a cause, religious or otherwise, would that faith falter if they questioned it, and upon examination, realize it for what it is. Then again, that's what they count on, not questioning it. A worse form of slavery that they don't even know it. I can understand why there's the religion is bad theme in some Final Fantasy games, considering this. It's that up, isn't it? In each of these realities, the constant is the fulfillment of her desires and seeking a place where she belonged. In the main reality, it was with the Rodion, communists in all but name, and later with the Damned Dozen. In the Kurokomo clan reality, it was with organized crime that rewarded her loyalty and obedience. In the LCCB reality, it was with the team that scouted out areas for Limbus Company. And she was easily bored in both of these realities. In the N-Corp Mittelhammer reality, it was with a pseudo-religious cause with a mission to cleanse the city of heretics. Her desire to belong in a group exploited by the one who grips. It would seem that her morality is malleable, where she does what she can to belong in a group. Although based on the main version, it has limits. If it doesn't suit her enough, she doesn't want to know. Although that's potentially suicidal with the Kurokomo clan. They likely make sure that those recruited by them are made to understand this. Well, that adherence to protocol was one of the most important things to do around them. Making it understood what the penalties for breaching that protocol is. It's highly unlikely that they have that problem with the hammer and nail, as the mental conditioning with that is likely intended to eliminate the possibility. Next will be the weak-willed Sinclair. We shall see how it goes with his identities. Until next time, hail the rabbit!